Aside from Chaos Demon Princes, Demon Primarchs, and other psykers of the Imperium and the Chaos factions, aside from these well-known strange humans, there also exist other divinely inspired human entities in 40k, some that are called as angels or even minor gods. These are beings that are more than human or superhuman like the astartes and the custodes, more than them, but less than inhuman monsters of the warp. So let's take a look at 10 of them. The first, of course, is the Sanguinor. This is a mysterious, golden angel-like warrior who appears only when the Blood Angels Space Marines are in their most desperate and hopeless moments, and no one truly knows where he comes from. Some believe that he is a spirit formed from the noble, heroic part of their fallen primarch Sanguinius, while others think he might be an ancient soldier who is kept alive by the Emperor's power, or even a being created from the Blood Angel's thoughts and emotions in the warp, or maybe one of the original sanguinary god, Ascalon. Anyway, he looks like a golden angel, a glowing angel made of living gold, wearing shining armor and a smooth mask shaped like Sanguinius' face, and he often appears with bright, powerful wings of energy. His powers are incredible. He is stronger and faster than even the greatest space marine. He fights with perfect skill using 2 golden swords and creates an aura of courage and hope that makes all blood angels near him fight harder and braver. Because he might be partly a psychic being, he can appear suddenly out of thin air and disappear just as quickly when the battle is over. The Sanguinor's purpose is to protect the Blood Angels during their darkest times, turning impossible battles into victories, and in the Imperium, the warp, he is locked in an endless struggle against another one called the Black Angel, a dark spirit that also is in line or is connected to the Blood Angel's curse and the deadly Black Rage. Even though no one really knows what the Sanguinor truly is, the Blood Angels see him as a sacred guardian and a symbol of hope who shows that their primarch's nobility still lives on through them. Now, the opposite of the Sanguinor is the Black Angel, or also called as the Angel of Darkness. This is a powerful and frightening spirit that lives in the warp, taking the shape of a dark angel wearing a black armor, and he is deeply connected to the Blood Angel's Space Marine as well, and the history of Baal. He is the opposite of the Sanguinor, because the Black Angel is made from all the pain, anger, and madness inside the Blood Angels, well, theoretically, and also maybe tied to the Black Rage. In the warp, where time doesn't really move normally, the Black Angel and the Sanguinor fight forever in an endless battle, and each of them grows stronger based on the actions of the Blood Angels. Every noble deed, the Sanguinor becomes more powerful, but after every Black Rage, the Black Angel grows stronger. This struggle is so ancient and so powerful that even alien civilizations that lived on Baal before humans have felt the influence of these 2 strange angelic forces. After the devastation of Baal, an avatar that looked like Sanguinius appeared to Mephiston and revealed that he was actually the vessel that would become the Black Angel, and because the warp doesn't really follow normal time, he had always existed and always would. The entity told Mephiston that if Mephiston allowed the Black Angel to use his body as a prison, it could delay the Blood Angel's foul fall into madness, but it would cost Mephiston his soul and life. And then, Mephiston seemed to accept this bargain for now, and that is all that we know for now about the Black Angel. Then the third one is the Angel, or also called the Sleeper, and the Angel of Destruction, who was an incredibly powerful living weapon created by the Emperor on Terra a long time ago, standing twice as tall as a man, with huge wings, a glowing halo, and a massive flaming sword that left blue fire wherever it struck, who was able to destroy armies and entire cities within seconds. It could not truly be hurt by physical attacks and was completely immune to psychic powers, making it one of the Emperor's deadliest creations, and it was originally built to help him defeat one of his greatest enemies during the unification wars of Terra, especially an ancient demon prince called Faragwedla, who had been haunting and tormenting humanity since the dawn of humankind. When the Emperor finally cornered the demon on the world later called Caracephalon, he and the angel fought it together and imprisoned it deep within the planet's bedrock. But although the angel was effective, it was also dangerously flawed and irrational. Its sense of justice became twisted, and one ancient record tells how it judged the people of a city called Koranis to be unworthy and killed every single person in one night, before going on to wipe out all life on the entire planet. To calm the angel down and force it into slumber, the Emperor placed a piece of the demon Faragwelta's corrupted flesh inside one coffin, and the angel quickly returned to destroy that piece, allowing the Emperor to lock it and seal it away. Millennia later, the Inquisition would release it and then after a lot of ordeal, they would trap it back in the same manner by luring it into the coffin with the flesh of the demon. The fourth here are called living saints. A living saint is someone whose faith is so strong that they often die while performing an act of extreme bravery, and instead of staying dead, they are miraculously resurrected in a bursting fire of divine power, returning with glowing auras, holy fire and angelic wings, and also unbelievable strength that inspires everyone around them. When they rise again, they become living symbols of the Emperor's will, able to blast enemies with sacred energy, survive impossible wounds, and lead entire Imperial armies to victory just by their presence. Living saints don't usually stay in the galaxy for long because their miraculous power burns out quickly, so they tend to appear only in the darkest moments during massive crusades, during great wars, or times when the Imperium is close to collapsing. Only a few are ever confirmed in each millennium, and before someone can be officially declared a living saint, the Ecclesiarchy and the Inquisition must both agree that that person is pure and that the miracle is real, because there are a lot of heretics and a lot of demon sorcery out there. And even if they fall in battle again, living saints can sometimes return once more if the Imperium desperately needs their help. Some examples are Saint Celestine and Saint Gerstal, although there are many more that have been confirmed. Now another one here is a very mysterious being, a mysterious entity called the Star Child, who is a warp-born entity believed to represent the surviving soul essence of the Emperor of Mankind. Sometimes called the Inhuman or the Chaos Child, it is described as a tiny intact core of the Emperor's spirit that remained after millennia on the Golden Throne, gradually dissolving the rest of his psychic presence in the warp. As the link between the Emperor's withered body and the drifting soul weakens, this small core persists as kind of an unborn potential, much like how the new man of ancient Terran shaman lore was formed from their collective sacrifice. Because of this, the Star Child is viewed as a possible future rebirth of the Emperor and is said to embody the human aspect of the warp itself. Some accounts even say that the Star Child represents the compassion that the Emperor cast out of himself when he destroyed Horus, implying it is the missing piece of his own humanity. Inquisitor Jack Draco believed that the Star Child would be accelerated towards birth by traveling to a unique node of the webway where time flows backwards and where it's possible to resurrect a lost soul. But this is just one of many stories that Games Workshop has completely forgotten and might or might not get a renewal in the future. Anyway, after that we head to another entity which is also based on the Emperor, and this is the Dark King, who is a prophesied fifth Chaos God. So during the final moments of Siege of Terror, it was revealed that this Dark King was actually what the Emperor of Mankind would have become if he fully gave into the warp. When the Emperor saw how powerful Horus had become, he believed that he couldn't win without taking a massive amount of warp energy inside of him. This transformed him into a proto-godlike being made of black lightning, so powerful that even his own custodians died just by being near him. As he moved through the warp-twisted battlefield during the Siege of Terror, every demon and traitor fled in fear. At this point, the Emperor was beginning to turn into the Dark King, a chaos god of total destruction. But before this transformation was complete, Olanius' person appeared and begged the Emperor to stop, reminding him of his humanity and asking him to trust in hope instead of power. His words reached him, and the Emperor rejected the Dark King's form, releasing a huge wave of energy that pushed back much of the warp's power. But this was just sort of a delay in the eventual fulfillment of the prophecy, and his return as the Dark King might just be inevitable in the future. Yet another entity that is somehow connected to the Emperor is the Omnissiah. This is a sacred figure worshipped by the Adeptus Mechanicus, the group of, half-cyborg human beings that build and maintains all advanced machines in the Imperium. According to their religion, the Omnissiah is the physical form of the machine god, a divine being that they believe controls all knowledge, technology, and innovation. Many tech priests believe that the Emperor of Mankind is the Omnissiah because during the Great Crusade, he visited Mars and performed miracles like fixing a huge war machine with a single touch. This convinced most of the Mechanicum, back then it was called Mechanicum, that the Emperor was a real god. However, some tech priests disagreed, such as Kelbor Hall, who thought the Emperor was a fake, which later helped cause the split that created the Dark Mechanicum and, him siding with Horus during the heresy. The big question was whether the Omnissiah is a human or a machine-based entity, and the truth is that no one really fully knows. Many believe the machine god is a warp-based entity, while others think the Omnissiah might be a powerful machine intelligence created long ago by humans. Some even believe that it is part of the Void Dragon, an ancient Catan shard stocked in Mars, or that some even believe that he might be, or has been, or would be Vashtor the Archiphane. Yet there are even men of iron like UR025 who claim that the Emperor is not really the true Omnissiah, and that the real one is something far more mechanical and more ancient, but one solely worshipped by the factions of humanity. The 8th entry here is the Legion of the Damned, who are a mysterious group of ghost-like space marines who appear suddenly in the darkest moments of war to save Imperial forces and then vanish just as quickly. They look pale, skeletal, and wear black armor, and they are covered in skulls with fire patterns and immolated in divine fire that burns demons. Their exact origins is unknown, but many believe they were once the Firehawks chapter that disappeared in the warp and then maybe became twisted by a strange warp disease. Other theories say they might not even be living marines at all, but psychic echoes made real by the Emperor, or maybe created by the deep grief, rage, and hope of humanity and the space marines over ancient tragedies like the Dropside Massacre or the fall of a primarch. According to this idea, the Legion are the physical form of the Imperium's desperate wish for justice and salvation. A few radical librarians even believe the Legion are a group of hallucination that becomes real through the combined psychic power of trillions of humans. They shoot psychic fire and strange bolter ammo and can banish demons and kill heretics in just one shot, and they appear only in the diaries of circumstances chosen and provided by the mystic Emperor's Tarot. So now moving on to the 9th entry, here we have the King in Yellow, who is one of the most mysterious and most dangerous figures known to have a strong connection to the Cognate. Most people think he is just a scary legend, but inquisitors like Eisenhorn and Ravenor know he is very real and extremely powerful. No one is sure who he truly is, but he has spent centuries traveling across the galaxy and even inside the warp trying to discover the true name of the Emperor, because knowing that name could give him terrible power over humanity and the Emperor himself. The King commands strange followers including clone blanks, winged space marines, and even beings that might be rogue custodians. Many from the Chaos Space Marines to the Eldar hate him because they fear he will gain too much power. When Elizabeth Beckun entered a strange pocket dimension called the City of Dust, she escaped the King there using a special language called the Enuncia, which is kind of like a powerful language, like a hidden code that like a weaponized language. And there she found a book with just one name inside of it, at least in the beginning, who reads as Constantine Valdor, which hints that the King in Yellow might actually be connected or even be the Emperor's legendary first companion. And then we end here with something really controversial, which is the Tauva. So this is the goddess of the greater good, and is a new warp being born from the combined beliefs of the different species inhabiting or living inside the Tau Empire. Because humans are the most psychic and the most numerous there of these allied species, their thoughts and hopes shape much of what the goddess looked like and how she behaves. That is why the Tauva's body resembles a blend of Tau and human, and why some of her many arms resemble the hands of different species, each one symbolizing the cooperation of the Empire working together. The Tauva doesn't really have a normal face, only a smooth pale skin, to show that she doesn't belong to one species alone. She first appeared to a young Shadow Sun during a life or death moment, showing she can act like a guardian spirit for those who believe in unity and in self-sacrifice. In the end, the Tauva is basically the greater good turned into a warp entity created by mostly the psychic dreams of humans and maybe other species to a limited extent. And so with that, we end this video on the 10 most mysterious supernatural or semi-natural human entities of 40k. Anyway, now do hit the like button for support if you want to support us, and then also for the ones holding their phones in their hands, you know the drill, do hit the hype button to push this content further. Also subscribe to be a part of Legion Notebook, and so till the next time, take care, boys.